All right, today we're going to step inside the mind of a murderer, a man who is about to try and convince us that he's perfectly sane by telling us in excruciating detail exactly how he committed the perfect crime. This is Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart.
Right out of the gate, he throws this challenge at us. He admits he's nervous, sure, dreadfully nervous, but mad? No way. This one question sets the entire unsettling stage for the journey he's about to take us on, trying to prove his sanity with a story that sounds, well, completely insane.
So here's the whole setup, and it's as simple as it is chilling. Our unnamed narrator has decided that the absolute best way to prove he's not crazy is to walk us through, step by step, how he planned and carried out a murder. It's a wild paradox, and it's right at the heart of the story. Okay, this is absolutely crucial to understanding what's going on here. We're dealing with what's called an unreliable narrator. Basically, we can't trust anything this guy says. We're only getting his side of the story, and his judgment is, let's just say, a little bit off. We have to filter everything through the lens of his possible madness. So yeah, this is so much more than a simple crime story. It's a deep dive into a mind that is just fracturing and falling apart. Poe isn't really interested in the who or the why of the crime itself. He's more interested in mapping the terrifying landscape of a man completely unraveling from the inside out.
Now we get to the motive, or more accurately, the complete and total lack of a rational one. The narrator tells us flat out that he loved the old man. He didn't want his money? So what gives? Why on earth would he kill him?
It all comes down to this one thing, an eye. A single, pale blue eye with a weird film over it. He calls it a vulture eye. Maybe he feels judged by it, or maybe his madness has just twisted a simple medical condition into something evil and predatory. Whatever the reason, it is a purely irrational obsession.
And this is where you see the story's main contradiction in action. To deal with this totally crazy obsession, he comes up with this intensely rational, super calculated plan. For 7 straight nights, he performs this chilling ritual. His careful methods are a stark contrast to his insane goal, but in his mind, this precision is proof that he's a genius, not that he's lost his mind.
On the 8th night, though, everything changes. The narrator's internal terror starts to become a physical sensation, and that thin line between what's real and what's just in his head, well, it starts to completely dissolve.
He accidentally startles the old man, who sits bolt upright in bed, terrified. And in that dead silence, our narrator claims to hear something. The old man's heart, beating like a drum. But here's the big question, right? Is it the old man's heart he's hearing? Or is it his own, just pounding with adrenaline madness?
This sound, whether it's real or imagined, just starts to consume him. It's not even about the eye anymore. Now it's all about this awful, persistent beat that he's convinced the whole world can hear.
The tension just keeps climbing. You can almost feel it. That sound becomes the focus for all of his own anxiety and rage. He's projecting his own internal chaos outward, and the sound just seems to grow to this unbearable volume, pushing him closer and closer to the edge.
And then, he just can't take it anymore. He's terrified a neighbor is going to hear the beating, so he attacks, silencing the old man and the heart forever. Or so he thinks. So after that explosion of violence, this really strange and unsettling calm just washes over him. He's not agitated anymore. He's triumphant. He's actually filled with pride over what he's just done. You see, in his twisted mind, pulling off the perfect crime is the ultimate proof of his sanity. He dismembers the body without a hint of remorse and hides it so carefully under the floorboards that there's not a single trace. He genuinely believes he's won. But then there's a knock at the door. Turns out a neighbor heard a shriek, and now 3 police officers are here. For our narrator, this isn't a threat. To him, it's an audience for his masterpiece of deception.
I mean, this moment right here shows just how detached from reality he is. He's charming, he's confident, he invites the officers in for a chat. He even puts his own chair right on the very floorboards that are hiding the corpse, just reveling in his perfect crime.
But as he's sitting there, just basking in his victory, something starts to creep in. A low, dull, quick sound. A sound that he recognizes all too well.
He tries to ignore it, you know. He starts talking louder, more enthusiastically, but it just won't go away. It starts to grow. This dull thumping that's beginning to fill the whole room. What could it possibly be?
It's the telltale heart. His own guilt, his own buried conscience, is screaming at him in the form of this terrifying hallucination. The very thing he thought he had silenced is now roaring from beneath his feet. He becomes totally convinced the officers can hear it too, and that they're just mocking him. The pressure inside his head becomes unbearable until it finally just bursts. He leaps to his feet, shrieking, "I admit the deed. Tear up the planks. Here, here. It is the beating of his hideous heart."
So let's just pull back for a second. Why does this story, written way back in 1843, still get under our skin today? It's because Poe was an absolute master of psychological horror. He wasn't interested in ghosts or monsters. He was interested in the terror that can erupt from inside our own minds. Poe uses a whole toolbox of tricks to trap us right inside the narrator's head. The first-person view means we can't look away. The fact that there's no specific time or place makes it feel like it could happen anywhere, anytime. And he just constantly blurs that line between what's real and what's a hallucination, leaving us feeling almost as unstable as he is.
Ultimately, Poe never just hands us a simple answer. Is the narrator truly insane? Is he actually being haunted by a ghost? Or is this whole thing just a nightmare he's telling us? He intentionally leaves it open to interpretation. And that powerful ambiguity is exactly why we're still debating it today.
And that's really the question we're left with, isn't it? A question that just kind of lingers long after you finish the story. Poe suggests that maybe the most terrifying monsters aren't the ones hiding under the bed, but the ones that are beating inside our own chests.